guys, it's FX Demon. Most of you following me on Instagram, or I've made you watch this video. But I'm gonna introduce you to my channel. I've actually had this channel for a long time. I had some videos on it 2 years ago. I deleted them because I was in high school and they were horrible. But I'm gonna introduce you to who I am and why I do makeup and what caused me to do makeup and all that stuff. First off, I am in college. I am an exercise and movement science major, so kinesiology, anatomy, I love it. And I use that in my makeup actually a lot well, not recently, but like this year, I would say, and last year. But I also run track and cross country, so my time's pretty much filled. So people ask me if I'm studying makeup. I'm not. It's more of a hobby at this point. I'm hoping that it transfers later on into actually doing it every day for the rest of my life. But yeah, so the reason why I started makeup was in high school I was really obsessed with The Walking Dead. I loved it and I watched it with my dad all the time and my brother. And I loved zombies, and Greg Nicotero's zombies are wild. I follow him on Instagram now. He's my favorite artist, easily. But I was in art club in high school. My dad was my art teacher actually, and so I was art club president my senior year. But my junior year, I think it was, we had to do a haunted hayride for the community during Halloween, and they asked us pretty much, I think, 2 weeks right before it was supposed to happen, and my dad and I were like, well, what can we do to in 2 weeks, because we can't build anything really. And so we decided on zombies because you could just throw some fake blood on somebody and call them a zombie basically. But because I love The Walking Dead and I was obsessed with zombies, I was gonna do this right. So my dad and I went to the Halloween stores and bought a whole bunch of prosthetic pieces and liquid latex and fake blood, and I took it upon myself to watch a bunch of YouTube videos. So I watched how they used liquid latex and what they used, and I started using my own, and I was up in the bathroom like putting liquid latex on myself and making myself basically look really gory. And I posted some of the pictures on my Instagram and sent pictures to my friends of my first couple looks, which are really bad. Now that I look at them, I'm like, wow, that looks horrible. But first off, I mean, getting the reaction of that's creepy, like, I loved it, and I love horror movies, and the gorier it is, the better. So like, but yeah, I started practicing in the mirror and watching YouTube tutorials and teaching myself basically how to use these materials. And it's the basic materials like liquid latex, tissue paper, fake blood. I really had limited access to some paints. I used acrylic paints for most of my first makeups. It's really easy and really cheap to do, and that's what I wanted to make this YouTube channel, because you don't need a lot of effects to do some of the crazy makeups that people do. I lack some of that stuff, so I'm thinking that this channel could be something for people who don't have a lot of money, don't have a lot of time, and want to create something really cool. But so yeah, so we did zombies for the haunted hayride. It was one of my like favorite moments of high school, of being in art and spending time with my friends and family and actually putting this together. And now my dad does it every year, and he always comes to me for advice, and I help him. Hopefully I'll be able to help him this next year with that. But yeah, so that's what I started, and it's been kind of a hobby since then, and something that I would like to pursue in the future. Like I said, I don't have a lot of materials, and I just go to Hobby Lobby and I buy random things and I put them together, and I'm like, wow, this could be cool, and I make a makeup out of it. But I can't imagine what I would do with so much more materials, like molding materials and casts and all that stuff. Oh, that excites me. So what I did before I did this video was I asked you guys on my Instagram, my Facebook followers and stuff, what questions you have for me for this introductory video. So my first question that I got was, what's the first horror movie that I saw? My first horror movie that I saw was Child's Play, I think. I didn't even watch it all. I made my brother watch it with me because I was scared. And, I mean, now I'm not. And I like gory movies, but my favorite movies now are actually Saw movies, all of them. The story's not really great, but I'm into the gore and stuff, so I like to watch that and get inspiration. My passion, that's my second question, what is my passion? That's a really hard question to answer because right now I really don't know what I want to do with my major, which is EMS. I really like anatomy and kinesiology, and learning about the human body is pretty much a passion for me, I guess. But makeup is really just a hobby right now, like I said. I would love to do makeup for short films and TV shows and stuff like that. That's really like the end goal, I guess, of all of this, but right now I'm really not sure how I would describe my passion. Yeah, question 3, what makes makeup so much fun? Like I said before, the that's so creepy factor that I get back from most of my makeups, that is something that I enjoy. I don't know, I like freaking people out. That's just the way I am. That's what makes it so fun for me. It's kind of an outlet also. If I get stressed, I need to do something with my hands. That's what I do. Some people draw and all that stuff and write. I can't really write. So I make things bloody instead. That's my outlet. What gave me inspiration? Well, I guess inspiration was The Walking Dead and doing zombies and thinking if you're gonna do zombies, you gotta do it right. So I guess that was my inspiration. But now I kind of just watch horror movies, I watch horror TV shows, and I kind of think to myself, well, that's not anatomically correct, and like stuff like that. But I look at a few videos, a few movies, and I get inspiration, and I just want to make it into physicality, I guess. My favorite theme for makeup, whether it's horror, sci-fi, or fantasy, it's always horror. I like gore, I like blood. I put blood on everything. Almost every one of my makeups I'll spit blood out of my mouth just to make it more gory. But horror is definitely my favorite. I think it's just something that you don't see every day. I guess sci-fi and fantasy aren't either, but it's just making something so horrible come to life, I guess, is something that I really enjoy. Recently I'm working on an angelic piece, so that's fantasy. I'm really not good at the beauty makeup stuff, so fantasy kind of isn't really my thing. There's glitter all over my desk right now because I'm working on that piece. But yeah, fantasy's not really my thing. Beauty makeup I'm not really good at it. I watch people contour their face and put beauty makeup on, and I gotta practice that because I can't. And a lot of fantasies have contouring and stuff like that, and I'm just not good at it. So I guess that's the thing I'll probably have to work on, especially for this angelic piece that I'm working on right now. Next question is, hardest part about doing makeup? It's finding time, I think. Because I'm a student athlete, I have homework, I have classes and practice. So finding time is really hard. That's why it's such a hobby right now. But yeah, finding time to do it, and it's sometimes it's not really that time consuming. Like mine usually range for an hour to 3 hours. But again, that's 3 hours of a day that I spend doing homework instead, or at practice or something like that. So, and it's also the frustration, I would say, because sometimes you have something in your head and you're like, wow, I can really make that come to life, and you start working on it and it's not exactly how you pictured it. That's frustrating. So sometimes I have to like stop and just take a second back and just think about it before I do it again the next time and try and do it better. But those are the 2 hardest parts, I'd say, about doing a makeup. My favorite makeup artist is Greg Nicotero. That's The Walking Dead's zombie maker, basically. I follow him on Instagram, and all his Instagram posts get me so excited because I just wish I could do something like that. Also, another artist that I really aspire to be like is V. Neal. If you don't watch Face Off, she's one of the judges on there. But she's really cool, and being a woman in the industry, it's not very common, but I mean, it's something to like look at and think like I can do that eventually. But she's definitely an inspiration also. And then other questions are more like, why is Batman my favorite superhero? He's not my favorite superhero, but he's my favorite superhero to watch. I'm like more of the villain fan, so the Joker and Scarecrow and Penguin and all them, and the Riddler. That's that's what I like, is the villains. Just I like gore and horror, so the villains are my favorite part. But yeah, that's why they're my favorite. What I'm working on this summer actually is I'm gonna hopefully be posting onto this channel a lot more this summer and show progress of what I'm working on and show you guys some tips on how to make really cheap makeup options with liquid latex and maybe just scar wax and tissue paper. There's a lot of things that you can do with just those, just paint. A lot of people think it's really hard to paint something like that. Gore really doesn't take that much. A lot of my first makeups were literally just red and brown paint, fake blood, liquid latex, and tissue paper. And that's what I did for my first couple zombies, actually. Now I use a little bit more like types of paint, glitter, different scar waxes, contour palettes, all that kind of stuff. But I'm hoping this summer I can help you guys out. So if you like this video, like my videos on Instagram, my pictures on Instagram, subscribe to me, and hopefully this summer I can help you guys out with some easy, really cheap looks on what to do for Halloween. And I'll keep you guys updated. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment or DM me on Instagram. Actually, I actually have a lot of people that DM me questions about my looks on Instagram. And it's really inspiring. A lot of people who follow me, and I look at their pages and they're just starting out and they're, you know, self-taught makeup artists. They're crazy. A lot of the self-taught are so crazy. They have so much talent. And it's like if someone were to teach us how to do it, it would be so cool. It's just not something that I can do right now. But yeah, so leave a comment or like this video and subscribe to me, and hopefully this summer I'll be posting a lot more. So thanks, guys.